we're going to take a ride and shoot it with 4 cameras and an audio track. We have a 360-degree camera there, a GoPro there, my iPhone here looking right at me, and a Garmin action camera. And so that everybody can see and hear it, here goes the sync clap. This will be a short ride, just to demonstrate these cameras, right? That's right. It's the middle of the afternoon. School bus is going by. I'm going to take you to see the fake Alamo a few blocks from here. I myself am descended from the baby of the Alamo. Look it up. She was my great-great-grandmother. And it was just a thrill to see a fake Alamo so close to Plano, Texas, 300 miles north of the real Alamo in San Antonio. So this is a multicam camera. Our 360-degree camera on front, our GoPro, our iPhone, and the Garmin action camera up on top. And I'm going to show you how to edit all these angles in Final Cut Pro 10. Ooh. Sure, I forgot something. Now the iPhone is rolling. I remember to start every camera but the iPhone. And I've got a separate audio recorder recording a microphone in my helmet. And now, hopefully all the cameras are rolling. The 360, the iPhone, the GoPro, and the Garmin action camera on the helmet. Well, let's start editing. First thing we got to do is edit the 360 video separately. So we'll add our moves to that. Now, this file here, actually both files, are from the 360 cameras. Just double-click on one, and the editor that you download from the Insta360 site will automatically launch. There it is loading. And there it is. This is the app from Insta360.com. First thing I'm going to do down in the right corner is just hit the minus sign until I see the whole thing and make sure the whole clip is selected. I'm going to stop it playing. I don't need it playing. And the things that I set, I use a logo. So I use the Nader logo. That puts it at the bottom of the video sphere that the 360 camera creates. In this case, my camera is on a stick at the center of my windscreen. So this is where they're going to put my logo. And I also lock direction. You'll find that it makes whatever is directly in front of the camera stay in front of the camera unless you keyframe it to point somewhere else. So, and I also use flow state stabilization. And then you click the download and rename it, name it something familiar, and browse to where you want to save it, which I've already done. So we're going to cancel out of this, but that will produce a MP4 video that you will import into Final Cut. So let's go to Final Cut. Here we are in Final Cut, and I've already done the editing to the 360 video, it came out as a equirectangular movie. So here it is. I'll select it up here, and you'll see that as we scroll to the right, it's equirectangular monoscopic. And I create a regular HD frame, 1920 by 1080. And also from the Insta360 website, you can download a LUT. That's called a lookup table, and it's specially designed to brighten the video you get out of the Insta360 camera, because it purposely shoots in more subdued tones, but it's actually storing a greater latitude, and that's what the LUT brings out. So you go up to, once you get that LUT downloaded, you go to the information, and right here is where I've got it loaded. But the first time that you download it, all you do is say add custom camera LUT, point to the ONE X, and it will become a permanent part of Final Cut. So now that I have this in there, I'll just choose the ONE X Luma. And also what I often do is put contrast on it here in Final Cut. To give you an idea, let's see, here's the color board. That's the contrast. And let's see. Well, the LUT, the lookup table, is not in this section. But those two together bring you a nice image. And when you're editing, you get tilt, pan, roll, and field of view out of this equirectangular video. And another tip is, I'll go to one of the keyframes I've already set. You can set a keyframe for all four of those things at once by right-clicking here and say add. And that will add keyframes in all 4 points. So that's what I recommend, is you move to where you want to set one keyframe, but you set them all so that if you set a different one later, it doesn't go past the ones you just set to see its previous keyframe. You can get into a mess like that. So, and also you can switch to Tiny Planet mode here where it says mapping. In this case, it's Tiny Planet, or you can have normal. Now, all this is in normal. This is in Tiny Planet. And what you have to do is make a slice in the video, just like you're slicing any video, and designate that section to be Tiny Planet, so that in this case, I'll play it a little bit. It comes up, and then I cut to the logo and pull out to Tiny Planet. You can't, you have to cut out a section to apply Tiny Planet, or it'll apply Tiny Planet to the whole strip. So, and then at the end, I come out of Tiny Planet. All right, so even as you turn here, you'll see that I stay in frame because I had the camera pointed at me. So it kept me in frame because I had chose back over in the Insta360, I had chosen lock direction. All right, and then the edited video is here, and this is what I edited to be one of the 4 video angles in multi-camera, multi-angle, or multicam editing. Then I brought in the, this is from the Garmin action camera. And this is from the GoPro camera. And then there's the iPhone video right here. Now, I did not start the iPhone rolling at the beginning of the ride. A mistake on my part, but it sets us up for another learning experience, because halfway through the ride, or a short way through the ride, I saw that the iPhone was not recording, and I started it recording. So now that gives me an opportunity to teach you how to make it synchronize with the others, even though it was not rolling when I did the initial clap. And you'll see back here that I do a hand clap where all the cameras can see my hand and the microphone in my helmet can hear it. See where you clap? Here we go. Boom. And so I set a marker wherever that clap is. And so I select the 4 sources. That's the edited 360 video. There's the iPhone. There's the Garmin. And this 360, no, I did that already. What are we missing? Garmin, GoPro. That's the 4 cameras. And we right click on it and make a new MultiCam clip. Then, and you can call it anything you like. I started with MC for MultiCam. And I, down here, automatic, and first marker on the angle. And I make sure it's HD, 1920 by 1080. It selects the frame rate of the most dominant video because it can easily accept all sorts of frame rates. And once you do it that way with those markers, even long projects will synchronize into a multicam pretty quick. And here's the multicam right here. And there's all the angles. Here's the full edit I've already done. And I remembered to start the iPhone about right here. You see in the lower left there of the quadrant of 4 videos. So I remembered to start it, but then how do you synchronize it? Aha, well, that's a learning experience. So let's double click on this. Here's that iPhone. It says iPhone right there. Here's the iPhone. Well, when it came in, it was initially over here at the beginning when I added it by hand later. So what I do in MultiCam for Final Cut is I make the audio in my helmet the master track by dropping this down and saying set monitoring angle. Since it's already set, it's grayed out. So I take this, highlight that iPhone video, and I drop the drop down there, and I say sync selection to monitoring angle. So you see it working there for a moment, and you should see it pop over to alignment here in a few seconds. It's studying all the audio of the master. There it went. And we are back in synchronization. I love multicam. I learned, and I'm not paid by these guys. They hardly even know me. But I get my training from rippletraining.com. And if you really want a good education in multicam editing, then rippletraining.com is my preference. Not paid by them, not encouraged to promote them. Just telling you what works best. So we'll go back, and you'll see that what I do is I go to the very front, and up here we have 3 icons. This chooses video and audio. This is this chooses video only, this chooses audio only, and I choose the audio only, and I go to the audio track and I set it. Click on it. You've set the angle for audio for the entire edit. Let's go back to the videos. And then as you go along, I choose video only switching. And as we go along, you'll see the video selections switch around as I had selected them. And so this moment I've got this angle selected. At this moment I've got the Garmin selected. And you just select with abandon. Well, if you get close, but it's not perfect, your cursor will go over the edit and change for you, and you can slide it up and down and retime it. So we'll undo that. And because the 360 angle is already edited, you'll see in the larger window where, for example, here, I just go to the 360 camera to take you by the fake Alamo that's just about 3 blocks from my house. I said in the video, I am descended from the Alamo. The baby of the Alamo is my great-great-grandmother. And then I switched to my iPhone camera there, and I switched to the 360, to the GoPro, to the Garmin, wherever I need it. And that's how we do the multicam, 4 cameras in this case, edit on a motorcycle. There's the fake Alamo. What was that, 3-4 blocks maybe from my house? The fake Alamo. You've seen it here, folks. While I'm out demonstrating my 360-degree cameras. Do a U-turn with this 2018 Goldwing Tour DCT. I love this bike. What do you think, GoPro? What do you think, Garmin? Mr. 360, I hope you're getting everything. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I've tried this ride 2 other times, and there was always something wrong, primarily because 2 of the cameras, the GoPro and the Garmin, I haven't touched in 2 to 3 years. And first there was some operational confusion. I should say a short between the headphones. Wouldn't you say a short between the headphones? I think you would agree with that. Anyway, so here we are in post, and I can switch from this camera to this camera to this camera to this camera. Everybody's in sync, and in Final Cut, it's a piece of cake. Just a piece of cake. The iPhone is still rolling. The Garmin is still rolling. The 360 is still rolling. I can't tell about the Garmin action camera on my helmet. But we're about to find out. Let's pull in. All right, let's see if we've got 4 cameras and an audio track. What do you say?